Welcome to Spiritual Rebirth Tarot. I'm Madelyn, your tarot reader and energy healer. It's so great to have you here for the special Pisces Christmas. So I decided of all the readings that I do, the most watches that I get throughout the year are from Pisces. You are my biggest fans. You love getting messages from the divine and interacting. So I want to thank you by doing a special Christmas special for Pisces. And so also we're going into the new year. So I decided to have our theme be the Native American theme. And so that's one of my personal favorite themes and directions. And recently I was able to purchase a rattle, which is filled with corn, and it helps to clear the space, clear the energies, bring in the messages for today. So I would like to begin with a couple of oracle cards, one from the Shaman Healer and also one from the Mystical Shaman decks. I'm not going to read from the book. I'm going to allow the intuitive reading to bring the message forward from these cards. And then I would also like to do an actual reading along the lines of just the very simple recent past, present, and recent future, or soon to be future. And, for different ones of you, you'll identify more with the past, the present, or the future part of the reading. So different parts will resonate. And then in the extended, we'll take a look at a few of the oracle cards from Whispers of Love, since you have so much love flowing through your heart, Pisces. And so I'm really enjoying and looking forward to that as well. So thank you all for coming to this reading. Let's start by asking for divine guidance in our discussions today. Okay, so I'd like to begin with asking for Reiki energy to help guide us to the right card here in this deck. Divine timing. And underneath is feminine energy. Divine timing and feminine energy. So as we're moving into the age of Aquarius and the year 2021, the rise of the feminine, is something that's on our minds, and even more than the rise of the feminine really is the harmony, the bringing together of the masculine and feminine. And the Starseed update that I just did for this coming week talks about a lot, has a card that really brings out that concept of the balancing or the connection of the masculine and the feminine. So you may want to watch that and take a look at that as well. So Pisces, let us look here for a minute at this divine timing card. So it's the 30, so it's the 3. And I'm just starting to feel like the 3 and divine timing of the wheel of fortune, that moving wheel. Now this wheel, if it moved, would be a little bumpy because it only has 3 sides. And it kind of like ba-dum. And so starting out in this new year, you might feel like things are a little bit bumpy for you, at a little harder time. So especially at this Christmas, for this Christmas special, you can see the red and the green on there, so that's kind of cool. With this Christmas energies this year, we don't get to be with our family. We kind of, it hardly feels, I don't even feel like it's Christmas. And I've been struggling. I've been wanting to help people who are feeling like they don't have the money and the resources and the things that they need to really have Christmas. And at the same time, I just hardly feel like Christmas even exists this year. It's like, did Santa take the year off because he's afraid he might get COVID? I don't know. And the other thing is, I feel like there's an eye in there, or there's like a pregnant snake. A snake that ate some food and then it's big and fat. It kind of reminds me of that. So well fed for the holiday season. So divine timing is all about learning things just when you learn them, or things happening when they're supposed to happen. And it's like you say, so when's this gonna happen? And you're like, well, in 3.5 days. No, in divine timing. It could be in 1 day, or it could be in 20. It could be in a year, or it could be in 3 years. So when it comes to divine timing, it's great because it's our hearts connecting, combining with the energies to make that movement happen. Okay, so let's take a look at the Mystical Shaman cards. Okay. So Reiki energy. Which card are we being drawn to? Okay. So, Pachamama, the Divine Feminine. Wow. Talk about the cards going together. She's a 4, so she has a lot of, she's that earth energy, Mother Earth. See, she's burning in the background. See how the fire's in the earth? She's burning up. She needs our help. And underneath is the beauty way. And it is the 4. So I'm going to say 4. Do we have any more 4s? 8, which is, so 448. Take a look at the number 448. Pisces, and see what kind of crisp message there is for you there. Okay, so the underneath, just kind of that underlying energy, the beauty way. I mean, we know like one of the reasons we love the lotus flowers so much is, where and the flowers, above the water, it's like that stinky, nasty, muddy water, and yet upgrows this beauty. And the beauty way is about no matter where you are in your life, no matter what you see, you choose to only see beauty. And, some people, they look at the light and dark, but in the beauty way, you choose to only see beauty. And in this case, I think it's the little bug there, the fire, I can't think of its name right now, dragonfly. The dragonfly is leading you to this beauty way. So follow the dragonfly. So if you see some dragonflies, know that they're there to guide you at this Christmas time, but especially because they're not really out that much right now. But the other thing about the dragonfly, I think, is, you might take a look at the dragonfly and see what the meaning of the animal spirit is. I don't have that one memorized. So, I'll look at the animal spirit meaning of the dragonfly, because the dragonfly is going to help lead you, Pisces, at this Christmas time into the beauty way. And so, Pachamama comes to you. And like I said, I mean, the earth is burning and needs our help. I know, like, when the earth was burning, I was praying about it out in California. And so many of my friends, live there, have lost homes over the years, or almost lose their homes, a lot of difficulty. And I was like, the orcas are out there in the ocean, and they are the great spirits, a lot of the ascended masters, I think they come back as orcas to have fun and to play. I don't know if they do, but that's just my little thought, is the Ascended Masters, when they want to have some fun, they come back as an orca. And they're wanting to save the planet, but what are they going to do against those big, huge boats that we have? Make holes in them? We can't even make holes in them. So anyway, how can we help that fight of the planet, of Mother Earth? It's interesting, there's a creature on her head. It's kind of ethereal, but it looks a little bit like a rabbit. And a rabbit has to do with, fertility and growth and plenty, and running where you need to run, running your course, knowing your direction, following in your direction. And so the energies, the strong energies are coming to us, both from the Beauty Way and in Mother Earth. At this time, really bringing to your life, some of you will be drawn to working with humanitarian efforts. What can you do on a personal level and a collective level to help with the planet and saving the planet? Okay, so let's take a look at the tarot. This is the Native American deck for the tarot deck. So we're going to do past, present, and future. And then we'll do some clarifying. Okay, the underneath is the world. And I love the world energy of this deck. There's so many stories. I know, even my kids, they have all these stories where these civilizations are on the backs of turtles, and the world being on the back of a turtle, and that's how it's starting out. And so, and then we had the Pachamama, which is the Mother Earth, and so we're that earth, the earthy energy, the grounding. I want to look at what the book says about that one. So it's 21. It's past, the last one is 20, and then it's the very last card. Stars shine in the sky beneath the giant sea turtle who walks upon the waters of the world. Upon his back, under the sky tree, sits a strong, noble woman. In the creation myths of many Native American nations are stories of how the turtle helped to build the earth. After the great flood that the Creator sent to destroy all evil on the earth, only the water, plants, and animals were left, and they were lonely for the human companions with whom they once shared the earth. So they asked a good woman who dwelled alone in the sky to come back to the world and live with them. She agreed, for she was pregnant and also lonely. The creatures first had to provide a place for her to live. Sorry, I'm looking down. I should be looking at you. This is such an interesting story. The turtle offered his place for his back for her to live. The turtle offered, but she didn't want to deprive him of his freedom. So, after many others had tried and failed, the muskrat brought up a mouthful of mud from the sea bottom, and the sky woman used her magic to spread the mud over the turtle's back. It turned into an island from under which he could swim. Then the seed of the sky tree of life, fell to the island and took root, producing food for the woman and the twins she subsequently bore. The essence of the world, the last card of the major arcana, is completion. It's an end, but also a beginning. For now, the minor arcana begins. An auspicious card, it represents the reward for hard work, and it can also indicate struggle and hurdles yet to come. So that's a great card for the new year. So it's the completion. We're coming to the end of 2020, and we're going into the beginning of 2021. And so as we're entering those new energies, that new growth, we have this world card. So I feel like that's the primary message for you, is there are so many different stories that talk about how the world began, how things began, you know, how the creatures were made. And this one of the things that really struck me was the compassion. You know, the animals were lonely, and so they called upon the human. The human was lonely, she called upon the animals. And compassion for each other. And she had compassion for the turtle. She didn't want to limit his freedom, but the turtle had compassion for her and brought her down. And so all of them together had this great compassion for each other, and the world was made. So as we create the new earth, you know, can we bring the same level of compassion into our lives? And so the Chief of Pipes, or the King of Wands, you know, he's sitting here, he's enjoying playing his pipe by the fire, a lot of fiery energy. He has his protection, his shield, and he's the source of, it's kind of interesting, it's like he's the source of a lot of power and authority, but also fun and creativity in the tribe. And so those kind of energies are brought in. This balancing is in the position, the present position. This Kachina juggler is one of the Kachina from the Hopi tribe that enjoys juggling. He's juggling the yin and the yang. And so it's, bringing those elements into your life and balancing. We're talking about balancing the masculine and the feminine, balancing those energies into our lives so that it becomes one. And also this card, I think it's on Tuesday, the December 29, I think, is when this card is talked about in detail on my channel. And then the future card, the Warrior Woman, is one of my favorite cards. It's interesting because it's the Five of Cups, and in the normal deck, it's kind of that pessimism card almost. But in this one, they picked this Warrior Woman. Five of Vessels. In all societies, in all ages, there have been Amazons, women warriors, who, because of their sex, had to be better at their craft than their male counterparts. In Native American lore, there are stories of women from sections of North America who fought side by side with their braves. Again, this, the rise of the divine feminine. So this really is in the future. So it's what's this year is going to be about, 2021. Some stories tell of women who bravely protected their homes and families when enemies attacked their villages. Other women went on the warpath for vengeance. Others went with their husbands as domestic assistants and accidentally ended up in the battle. Then there were those like Lozin, sister of the famous Southern chief Victorio Lozin, a Warm Springs Apache living in a patriarchal society, worked to excel at all she did as a woman and a warrior. And she was dedicated to her people and became an expert war strategist and counselor. Among the eastern tribes, matriarchal societies were more prevalent, and among the nomadic Shawnee, the women had equal say in war and peace. Even today, there is much joking about the fierceness of the Shawnee women. That's probably what this is representing here. The warrior woman is shown stripped down to breechcloth and moccasins. She has a bow slung over her shoulder and a quiver of arrows around her hip. Her face is painted for war, and she raises her knife in a solemn oath to the spirits, while her horse waits near the base of the mound on which she stands. One of the sacred mountains is behind her, and the crescent moon and an 8-pointed star are up in the sky. So you can see the star. She's standing there in all of her glory. The warrior woman symbolizes dedication to a cause. Now the time is to fight for a personal cause. Oh, that's great. Fighting for a personal cause. So in the future position, so we were talking about, working on, saving the planet, working on women's rights. It doesn't, Pisces, it'll be different for each of you, your path this next year. But it's saying your path is, fighting, standing up and fighting. That is your part of the new world. That is the thing that you were being called to do, to be part of that, journey. So thank you so much for coming to this reading, this Pisces Christmas special, and maybe I'll call it the New Year special. It certainly had a lot of New Year aspect to it. And I want to thank you for coming to all of my things, watching them, viewing them. It just means so much. Please comment down below, especially specials that you would like to see on a regular basis. And there's a link below to go over to the extended, where I'm going to do kind of a special on the Whispers of Love, bringing up kind of a love reading or love aspect. Okay, please subscribe, and I will talk to you later.